What's up, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things black and gold. And folks, this offseason has been one for the books. From Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey to Jonnu Smith, Omar Khan has turned this team upside down in the best possible way. The Steelers are on a mission to perfect this roster, to build a winner, and to bring that 7th Lombardi trophy home to Pittsburgh. If you believe the front office is going Elon, and you're just as excited for this upcoming season as we are, go ahead and smash that like button right now. It really helps us grow this amazing community of Steelers fans. Let's dive into the latest buzz out of Pittsburgh, because two major storylines are taking shape: the potential signing of Gabe Davis and the increasingly tense contract situation with star pass rusher TJ Watt. This is a video you're going to want to watch all the way to the end. Let's start with the offense. The Steelers' wide receiver room looks completely different than it did just a few months ago. George Pickens, gone. Deontay Johnson, gone. Enter DK Metcalf, the new, undisputed WR1. But the question on everyone's mind is this: who's going to step up behind him? According to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, one name is still firmly in play. Gabe Davis. Davis visited the Steelers weeks ago and reportedly loved the time he spent with the team. Although he left without a contract, Fowler reports that he remains a legitimate option and could be signed closer to training camp. Greater than free agent Gabe Davis still an option for Steelers on offense. 2. He really enjoyed his visit there, though he could take his time to sign, possibly closer to training camp. Jeremy Fowler on XAT, 26 years old. Davis is a player with proven big play potential. He caught 27 touchdowns during his 4 seasons with the Buffalo Bills, including a breakout year in 2022 with 836 yards and 7 scores. However, his lone season in Jacksonville in 2024 was forgettable. Just 20 catches, 239 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Still, the upside is there. If Davis can return to his Buffalo form, he could be the perfect vertical complement to Metcalf and give Aaron Rodgers another trustworthy target down the field. As of now, Calvin Austin III is penciled in as the WR2. And listen, Austin showed real flashes last season with 548 yards and 4 touchdowns. His speed and route running are valuable, but he's also unproven in a full-time role. Behind Austin, you've got veterans like Robert Woods, Scotty Miller, and rookies like Roman Wilson and Dez Fitzpatrick battling for reps. None of them have separated themselves just yet. Adding Gabe Davis into that mix gives Pittsburgh a legitimate, battle-tested receiver who's played in playoff games, caught big-time touchdowns, and knows how to stretch a defense vertically. With Rodgers under center and Metcalf demanding double teams, Davis could quietly be a breakout signing if the Steelers pull the trigger. Now, on to what might be the biggest concern for Steelers fans this offseason: the status of TJ Watt. Let's not sugarcoat it. Things are getting tense. Watt is entering the final year of his 4-year, $112 million contract, a deal that now looks like a bargain. In the meantime, Browns edge rusher Myles Garrett reset the market, signing a new deal worth $40 million per year and over $123 million guaranteed, and now, reports suggest that TJ Watt wants to top that deal, according to Mike Florio. The two sides are nowhere close to reaching an agreement. Watt has already skipped voluntary OTAs and mandatory minicamp, and signs point to a full training camp holdout unless a new deal is reached. Greater than Watt, one of the very best defensive players in the game, is ready for any outcome and not afraid to push the issue. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, that's a concerning update. When a player is ready for any outcome, that opens the door to everything, including missing regular season games or even, in an extreme scenario, a trade. Now let's be clear, the Steelers don't want to trade TJ Watt. They shouldn't. Trade TJ Watt. All signs from this offseason point to a team going all in for a Super Bowl run in 2025. Trading Watt, your team captain, franchise face, and future Hall of Famer, would go completely against that direction. But make no mistake, this situation is delicate. Watt's brother, J.J. Watt, even called out the Steelers publicly for not extending TJ sooner. Pittsburgh had the chance to lock him up last offseason, and they didn't. Now they're dealing with the consequences as the price tag keeps going up. This isn't Watt's first contract standoff. Back in 2021, he held in at training camp, showing up, but not practicing until he got his extension. That season, he went on to tie the single-season sack record and win Defensive Player of the Year. This time around, reports suggest Watt may fully hold out, skipping all of training camp. And honestly, that's not the end of the world. Watt is a pro. He'll be ready. The only question is whether the Steelers are ready to pay what it takes to keep him. And remember, the organization has a firm rule. They don't negotiate contracts during the season. That puts the clock on high alert. If something's going to happen, it has to happen in the next few weeks. One side benefit to Watt's holdout. The young guys will get more reps. Nick Herbig has already shown flashes in limited action, and rookie Jack Sawyer, who dominated at Ohio State, will get a chance to prove himself early in camp. This could be a valuable time for development, even if Watt isn't around. But make no mistake, nobody replaces TJ Watt. He's a once-in-a-generation pass rusher. If Pittsburgh wants to win now, and that's clearly the goal, they need him on the field in Week 1. After months of speculation, contract whispers, and silence from Aaron Rodgers, we finally got the answer we were waiting for. Rodgers will suit up in black and gold in 2025, and he's wasting no time getting started. This week, wide receiver Ben Skowronek posted a video that lit Steelers' Twitter on fire. In the clip, Skowronek is seen catching a pass from Rodgers and finishing the session with a powerful alley-oop dunk. It wasn't just a highlight play, it was a statement. Rodgers, 41 years old, looked energized and relaxed as he lobbed the perfect pass, then smiled in disbelief after seeing Skowronek throw it down. The quarterback turned to the camera and laughed, clearly impressed by his new teammate's bounce. Now, let's be clear, this wasn't just a fun moment. This was a glimpse into the new leadership Rodgers is bringing to this locker room. Why? This matters. Chemistry, culture, commitment. One of the biggest concerns when Rodgers signed with the Steelers was how he'd fit into the team's culture. Let's be honest, his time with the Jets was chaotic. There were questions about locker room chemistry, media distractions, and whether Rodgers still had the fire to compete at a high level. But what we're seeing now tells a different story. Rodgers isn't treating this like a retirement tour. He's putting in real work. He's reaching out to teammates, organizing sessions, and embracing his role as a leader. And let's talk about who's there with him. Pat Freiermuth, the athletic tight end, entering a pivotal year in his career. Calvin Austin III, who's looking to take the next step and lock down the WR2 spot. Ben Skowronek, a depth piece who's now showing flashes of explosiveness, and reportedly, DK Metcalf is expected to join the workout soon. That's your core receiving group, all getting hands-on time with a future Hall of Famer. Before training camp even begins, this isn't just off-season fluff. It's the kind of extra work that leads to real results. Once the lights come on in September, Rodgers' reputation getting a fresh start. It's no secret that Rodgers' time with the New York Jets was a disaster. He tore his Achilles just 4 plays into the 2023 season and never really had a chance to get comfortable in that system. The offensive line was shaky, the play calling was inconsistent, and the chemistry was never there. But now, Rodgers is entering a situation that feels far more stable. The Steelers have a respected front office, a strong coaching staff led by Mike Tomlin, and a roster that's been reloaded with physical weapons and hungry young talent. And, most importantly, Rodgers is healthy and motivated. At 41 years old, this might be his last ride. And from everything we're seeing right now, from the Malibu workouts to his locker room interactions, it's clear Rodgers isn't coasting. He's attacking this opportunity like a quarterback with something to prove. A refocused offense with Rodgers at the helm, the 2025 Steelers. Offense is shaping up to be completely different from what we've seen in recent years. Gone are the days of conservative game plans and inconsistent quarterback play. With Rodgers running the show, you now have DK Metcalf as your alpha WR1. Calvin Austin III looking like a dangerous slot threat. Roman Wilson developing as a route technician, Jonnu Smith adding veteran reliability at tight end, alongside Freiermuth and, possibly, Gabe Davis, who's still being linked to the Steelers as a potential addition. Add to that a healthy offensive line and Najee Harris being replaced by a more dynamic backfield split between Jaylen Warren and rookie talent. And suddenly, this offense looks ready to make some noise in the AFC. But none of that works without the quarterback. And now that the quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, the expectations skyrocket. Steelers going Ellen for 2025, let's be honest. Steelers Nation, this front office is not playing around. They traded away George Pickens and Najee Harris. They brought in big names like Metcalf, Ramsey, and now Rodgers. They're spending money, they're making bold moves, and they're pushing all their chips to the middle of the table. This is not a rebuilding year. This is a championship poor-bust season. Rodgers knows it, Tomlin knows it, and the rest of the NFL is starting to take notice. The private workouts in Malibu are just the beginning. What happens in July and August at training camp is going to set the tone. But the early signs, they're pointing toward a group of players who are serious, focused, and ready to chase something bigger than stats and Pro Bowl votes. They're chasing a ring. Steelers Nation. Here's the deal. Gabe Davis remains very much in play. If the Steelers can land him before camp, this receiver room looks a lot more dangerous and a lot more complete. The TJ Watt contract situation is becoming the story to watch. He's earned the right to be paid like the best, and the Steelers need to figure this out fast. Meanwhile, the team continues to put itself in win-now mode, and the next few weeks could define just how real this Super Bowl push is. But now, it's your turn. Do you want the Steelers to sign Gabe Davis? Or would you rather give Calvin Austin and the younger guys a shot? And what's your take on the Watt contract drama? Should the Steelers pay him now, or wait and risk losing him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is your team, and we want to hear what the nation thinks. And if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breaking update. Thanks for watching, Steelers Nation. And as always, here we go.